All right. Tuesday, Show Me the Money Club live Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. What's going on, Sergio? How you doing today?
Good, buddy. Good. What's going on?
Oh.
We're having our Indian summer in California, in LA specifically. This week it's going to be 101, 104, 107, 109 on Thursday. So
Ooh,
I don't think it
nice.
hasn't been that hot in summer actually, but we do have the September thing, so it's hot.
Nice. Well, yeah, you get that upflow from the desert down below in Mexico and all that. So, yeah, not too shabby. Yeah, it's been pretty hot all over. It's a little cooler in my area now, though, but it's going to warm back up. We got a high pressure that built up and bringing that cool air from Canada. Damn Canada.
I need some. All right.
But either way, we got a great show for you today. We've got a lot going on. So let's just get right into it. So what we got going on today, we've got, our announcements that we're going to be talking about. But we got Lyft. Thanks for the tip. Stealing pages, huh? Yep. So that's in the driver app. SCREWBER, what's going on with that and how did it continue to happen for 6 years? We're also going to be talking about the Uber Pro Debit card information may have been compromised. Be careful about scams, calls coming in, all of that stuff. There was a huge leak. And it wasn't just Uber Pro Debit card. Things like the bank for Walmart Spark, if you do that, that was affected. A lot of them. So we're going to be talking about what that is. So you can try to be safeguarded against scams and, make sure that any information was leaked will be changed and just stay up to date on that. Also, we're going to be talking about how much do you earn compared to other drivers in your city. We're also going to be talking about Uber drivers are able to set the PIN verification preference. So it's not just the passengers. Drivers are able to set this now too. So is this going to be something that can help? And what are you going to be doing about it if you have it in your area? We're also going to be talking about where do Uber profits go and why is this a repeating cycle? We're going to be talking about the court decision regarding fallen victims of rideshare violence. We're also going to be talking about how Alto is joining Uber. Everything is joining Uber. Man, they're just like this big glob sucking up everything. And then we're going to be talking about Waymo Teen and cars not going to be issued traffic citations, which is redonkulous, especially with what we've been seeing and what I post on X, or I should say repost on X. So yeah, a lot of crazy stuff there. But before we do get into that, we do want to talk about our announcements. If you wouldn't mind kindly liking, sharing the show, it's free. It helps other drivers be able to find the channel if they haven't already and they're watching YouTube. So if you wouldn't mind kindly liking and sharing the show. Also, if you do like the channel and want to support it, become a member and help support the channel. We're going to be adding a little bit more to our members as well. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing some fun stuff. Also, if you speak Spanish or know somebody who does, RSG is in Espanol. And, we just found a new technology that we're going to be trialing very soon where it actually changes the mouth to move what you're saying. So even though Sergio and I speak English, it will translate into Spanish, but it'll also change our mouths. So there's no Godzilla effect. There's none of that. And it's pretty wild. We already did it with a video from Sergio. So it's pretty crazy when I say that. So yes, go check it out. Rideshare Guy in Espanol. If you don't speak Spanish, hey, that's cool. You can see it. It's pretty wild. But if you know somebody who does speak Spanish, make sure you send that over to them so then they can get the great information as well too when it comes to it. And then I know Sergio wanted to talk about a new article that he had put out. So take that away, Serge.
Yeah, it's on our newsletter. I actually went out yesterday. Good timing. It was about the Lyft verification of riders. I didn't pull any punches, obviously. I'm a skeptic, but I think it's a good first step. I think, all of you should go visit www.therideshareguy.com, subscribe to the free newsletter. You guys will get to read what I write and a couple of other wonderful contributors like Jay and Tyler. And so, long story short, it's free. So please go sign up. We appreciate it. And I do write at least on late breaking news immediately. And we do videos, but written word, I think the articles are a lot more in depth than what we can do on YouTube. So please go check it out.
Definitely got some great information. I saw that article come through. So pretty good there. A chance to
Yeah.
figure out what was going on
So
with
can we touch
yeah.
on this, because I already saw
Yep.
just 30 seconds. Did you have a chance? Yes, I have confirmed with Uber that all minivans, regardless of year, make, model, are not going to be able to do Comfort or Comfort Electric any longer. Don't know the reason. I really pushed them. Give me a reason. Of course, look, when they want to give me a reason, they give it to me like in 3 minutes, and then when they don't want to talk about it, it's crickets. It's been crickets. But I have confirmed that all minivans, including 2023 Siennas. This has been last week's news. It's I keep getting emails. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but yes, that's the key. Number two. A lot of people are asking me how Tesla Model 3s are losing their comfort. I'm trying to confirm that. I am not sure yet, but yeah, that is the bad news. Actually, more than minivans, Chris, a lot of vehicles who are able to do XL, like Toyota Highlanders and things like that, they are being removed from the comfort platform and no reason given. And I did a really good video. This goes back to what Lyft did last year. Out of the blue, they took Lyft Lux out, and a lot of people were making good money with it. That's why do not buy a new car to do Uber with, period. And that's the rule of thumb. So anyway.
Or more importantly, don't be ordering or don't be getting a car that is designed for something like comfort or that, because it could just disappear. Now, if you have a third row, you have XL, they're not going to take XL away because your car can handle that amount of passengers. So something like that is one way. But when it comes to these mid tiers and even some of the higher tiers like Black and that, you got to be careful because we saw that with Lyft when, what was that? 6 months ago, 8 months ago at this
Yeah.
point now.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't buy a car just based on that.
Nope.
Make sure you do your due diligence and go from there. Honestly, I mean, probably the best is going to be just getting a car that's XL if you want to do that, to have that third row and have the multiple people. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to your decision, what's going on in your market as well too. So there's a lot there to unpack, but
Yep.
unfortunate when it comes
Yep.
to the minivans and that. I'll be interested to
Well,
see if mine, because it's a 22 Honda Pilot, but there's a lot of room in there, and it's
well,
pretty, it's
you're
nice.
XL, right? You're XL. You can do XL.
But I mean,
Yeah.
when it comes to comfort,
Oh, no, I don't think you're going to be able to do comfort. I'm sure you'll get an email soon.
I don't know.
But
We'll see.
I mean, look, I don't know why they do what they do. You know, you guys can't depend on any of these things when you guys are deciding to buy a new car or move
Think so.
classes.
Yep.
Thanks,
Do your
Will.
research.
So don't do it. I mean, at the moment, Chris, seriously, I mean, rideshare driving should not be done with anything newer than a 5-year-old car, to be honest with you. Just it's basic Walmart transportation, $3, $5, $8 trips. Wear the shit out of the car out, and use it like an ATM machine.
I think right
That's it.
now, absolutely. I think if you are at a point where you need to get your car done, meaning you need to get a new car, I would go with something that's definitely older, and something that's going to be a little cheaper. Only because right now, there's such oversaturation. The economy is not great, and they're looking at a lot of different things that are happening. So to try to ride out the storm, yeah, you want to make sure that you can minimize your expenses. So we're going to talk about a couple of things with minimizing expenses as we go on. But yeah, that's the biggest thing is your car payment of everything, whether you pay the car off entirely, whether you have a car note, all those things are going to be a huge expense. So the cheaper you can get and the older you can get, it's going to be better. I mean, there's a lot of cars that you can get now used that are going to be much better off than what they were, earlier this year, last year, especially when used car prices were absolutely insane. But that's all come tumbling down now. So it's definitely going to be a lot better. So if you need a new car, or I'm sorry, if you need a car to do this, but you need something that's not the car you currently have, definitely go with a used car and definitely use it where it's going to ride out the storm. And then who knows, if the economy starts getting better, whether that's 6 months, a year, 5 years, you'll be able to weather the storm a lot better, because instead of doing that car note for the next 5, 7 years, and basically running that car into the ground, you will be able to make sure that that car can be paid off much earlier. And that means more money in your pocket.
Yeah. So Debbie's email me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. I am not sure what you're talking about. But email me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com, and as well as all the rest of you, if you have any questions, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. Yeah, anyway, so let's get on with the show. Sorry for all the Excel drivers. We'll see.
Yep. Well, it looks like it might be compact SUVs, which I could get. Mine's a full-size SUV, so that would make more sense.
We'll see.
But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Also, last announcement before we actually get started. We do have our Show Me the Money Club and RSG merch. So if you want to check it out, you can. We got the Know Your Worth. We got the Cherry Picker. I Drive for Tips, those type of things. We also have our Show Me the Money Club. So you can get a hoodie. You can get a t-shirt. There's jacket. We've got the Pro line. So if you want to be the professional driver, it's going to look a little more professional. Both t-shirts for RSG and Show Me the Money Club, as well as jackets. So yeah, this is pretty cool stuff. So if you're interested, make sure you check the link in the description below. Get your stuff today. And with that being
anyway, look, the people are going to ask this, so I get it out of the way, all these questions, and then we get on with the show. We don't talk about things that we don't understand. So fair co-op is one of those. There's too much drama going on with that thing. I respect the professor. Obviously, he's behind it, or he's pushing it, or he was on, off, on. So I don't know what's going on. Good luck to them. I don't know. When we do research enough and vet these companies that we put on Show Me the Money or the Rideshare Guy, we do believe that the drivers can benefit. Fair, if fair co-op can explain me what it is. I don't even know what it is. Is it a TNC licensed company? Is it a multi-level marketing thing? I don't know. When I don't know, I'm not going to talk about it, and that's why we didn't talk about it yet. So,
yep, yeah, I got to make sure the research is done, and we'll go from there. But anything before we get started, then?
No, sir. Let's get going.
All right. So speaking of cutting down some of your expenses, which we all know are absolutely crazy out in today's economy, one way you can do that, we do want to mention, is the Upside app. We haven't talked about it in a little while, but it's definitely there. There's a lot of cool things when it comes to Upside, and it's not just gas. So you can get food like what you see here. So this is from a restaurant where you can get 12% cash back up to $30. So you can see the total purchase for $92.60. You're getting $11.11 back, which is great. And it's also grocery items and stuff like that. So Upside is a great app that we like because, yes, you can save money on gas. You can save money on restaurants, and you can even try new restaurants. So Sergio's got it right there.
That's this year's rebates I got so far, $73.70. And I actually, you know what? I haven't used it at restaurants. I don't know why. That's dumb.
I don't know.
I should.
Yeah, you gotta. Actually,
I know. I was like,
there's a great restaurant right by me. Well, it's not too far away. It's called Potter's, and they have really good wings. It's a bar, and they have the cash back. So it's like, oh, I normally go there anyways, and then I get cash back on top of it, so I can't complain.
Yeah, no, I saw this. You guys were putting it up, and I'm like, why am I not using it at restaurants? I mean, a lot of the restaurants in my neighborhood are, 5, 8, 10% back. But so far in gas this year at $73.70. Hey, man, I don't use the Uber Pro Debit card or the Lyft debit card, the new enhanced version, which we're going to talk about. But I use Upside. It's literally every time I buy gas, 20 cents, 22 cents. And I do understand a lot of you are going to say, Upside is only on expensive station, so I can buy a gas Costco at cheaper. What if there's no Costco near you, or like Chris, you don't live near a reservation, you can get gas cheaper. In California, I'm very happy getting 5, 6, 7% back in cash. And they have improved the app. There is no more uploading. In the old, like last year, you had to get a receipt. You have to take a picture of it, upload it, all that stuff. Now, GPS is tracking you, and all you have to do is just click, I purchased it. You just put your card that you purchased it with, and then a day later, literally 24 hours later, your rebate shows up. So $74 so far. I mean, $74 is 74. To me, it's 2 tanks of gas. I'm like, why wouldn't I use it?
Well, my lifetime's earnings is just a little bit more than you, I think.
You had referrals, probably.
I have mine's like 700 and something. What? That I got back.
Referrals. Did you refer a lot of people?
I did refer, but
that's a good idea. Look at this one, Chris. We need an RSG card. Sure.
That'd be cool.
Harry, you're watching?
But either way, yeah, Upside is great for more than just gas. Gas is great. I mean, if you're driving rideshare, why would you want to spend that amount when you can, again, reduce that cost? And then same thing when it goes to restaurants. If you got to go out and eat, and you want to go out and eat, and you want to enjoy, maybe you haven't been to a certain restaurant, maybe that'll entice you to go to that restaurant, especially with the way prices are today. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I went to Five Guys 3 days ago, and for my daughter, myself, my son, and my mom, it was $100. No, it was $54.
But you guys didn't eat anything.
No, I got a regular burger. We got a large fry. They got a hot dog, hamburger, and another hamburger and drinks.
Wow.
And I mean, $54 still. I mean, that's insane. Like, it should be like 30 maybe for all of that. But one of the things is that, yeah, save money on food, even if you go out. So yeah, download the Upside app, check it out, and start saving some money today.
Please do. Best wishes to Buddha. I don't know what happened to his foot, but I think he messed up his foot. He can't drive. So anyway, let's get going, buddy.
Yep. All right, let's talk about the next topic, and that is Lyft now sending thanks for tip in app. So what do you think about this, Sergio?
I like it. I love it. It's about time. I always did it anyway, seriously, because Lyft gives you 24 hours to go into the app and manually rate your rider. If you let the clock run out, it'll automatically give it 5 stars after 24 hours. But on the trips that I used to get trips, I would go in manually, immediately rate the rider 5 stars, and then I would say thanks for the tip. Now I don't know if it's going to the rider, was going to the rider, probably going to Lyft, and it's going nowhere, black hole. But Lelius posted this on Twitter, and he's an LA driver, and I think this is great. Uber had this obviously on delivery and rideshare for a long time. I don't know why Lyft never did this, but it seems like it's coming around. I like it. There's nothing bad about this. And hopefully, a lot of you get a lot of tips so you can start using this thing.
Yeah. No, I think I like it. I mean, hopefully people send it out, and hopefully it does increase the likelihood of getting tips when it comes to Lyft, because unfortunately, Lyft can be one of those apps where they may not be tipping as much as Uber, but it also depends, a lot of the people that you're dealing with in the areas and all that. So, I mean, it's just beyond that when it comes to it. But yeah, it's definitely a nice little thing to have, and hopefully we'll see some more things like this that can hopefully help out.
Yeah,
Chris got it. He says thanks for the tip is great.
Yeah, I think it's cool, and Lyft has done really interesting things this year. A lot of transparency, a lot of stuff. But this is another addition to it. Hey, that's it. That's nothing negative to talk about this.
No, and I think actually it's going to benefit drivers more. And I mean, again, first of all, if you're not driving on both Uber and Lyft, sign up for them now. Make sure you are signing or on both, and then check what other ones you have in your area and sign up for them. It's dumb not to be on both of them. Now, if you can't be on one because of whatever reason, I understand that. If you got deactivated or something happened, that's a different story. But if you're like, oh, I like Uber and that's the app I'm on, dude, these companies do not give a shit about you. Don't play their game. Play your game, make your money. So
Yep.
sign up and basically put yourself to the highest bidder and make more money and have more opportunity to be able to get that.
I
And
agree.
Lyft is doing something, as you said, they're doing quite a few things when it comes to how they're handling their app and things like that. So if you use that information, it's actually a lot of great information. So
I absolutely agree. So it's always a good thing. I said this to Risher when he was on. Risher, I don't know. I'm waiting for an email to confirm a date, hopefully, with Risher to come back on. Or, they can do whatever they want in the app. We are the face of the company for those 15, 20, 30 minutes. We are giving, these riders a safe trip. We are servicing the riders, and they know us. They don't know Richard. They don't know Lyft. They don't know nothing. They know us, and tips seriously have become an important part of rider earnings these days. And I think it's great. Yeah.
Yep. All right. With that being said, let's move on. Let's talk about SCREWBER.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. This
Talk about
was.
getting screwed.
I did talk to you know who you are. I'm sure you're watching today, because I said I would mention it. Look, I don't mention names, but when I say you know who you are on a specific topic, they know who they are. He was in this article. Okay, so this is the oldest trick in the book that existed from my days of driving from 8 years ago. This went on for 6 years to the tune of $40 million. These two shysters, Carlos Arturo Suarez Palacios and Elahu Paldiel of Queens and Brick Township, New Jersey, they got arrested. They got busted. Uber was definitely cooperating. Now, I don't know why it took them 6 years. The other thing is, we have, in the past shows, we have mentioned, Chris, that, a lot of drivers get this nasty gram in their apps saying that, right, they get accused basically of GPS spoofing. All right. And GPS spoofing was the number one way of grabbing trips in and out of airports when I was driving. And a lot of my friends did get deactivated because Uber, even 8 years ago, they changed the way they detect GPS spoofing. They introduced elevation, and LA has a little bit of elevation. So if you were spoofing from somewhere that you were at 1,000 feet and LAX is at a sea level, Uber detected it and booted your ass. So the fact that they could do this for 6 years is unfathomable to me, that they didn't catch it. Okay. Supposedly they were selling these phones, preloaded phones with they named the Uber app SCREWBER. Basically, this was about GPS spoofing. So what happens is that, if you guys don't know what that is, let me explain how it works. Let's say you're in part of town and 5 minutes or 8 minutes or 10 minutes away is surging like hell, right? So what do? You have GPS spoofing software. A lot of people who play Pokemon Go also use that software to put themselves where they're not. So what these people were doing is that they would go and put themselves, while they're not in that neighborhood, in the middle of the surge zone and grab the sticky surge, because the systems are detecting that my car is in the middle of the surge, and then I get the sticky surge. And they would drive and pick up the rider and do the trips. And then all of you who say, well, I'm in the middle of the surge, I'm not getting any trips, well, it's because these guys are spoofing their GPS and overloading the system. So that was one thing, SCREWBER. And then on the next screenshot, they named it SCREWBER. I think the name is spot on. But then they were screwing their fellow drivers, 800 people. and they were also screwing, the hardworking drivers that are on the system who did not have this software. So that's the fake GPS. So all these phones, they were selling these phones for $600 up front, and then $300 a month subscription. Chris, this is nuts. That's how they got to 40 million, and they were at some point they were pulling in like 200,000 a month, and they got busted. 6 years, I think, is too long. There is some sort of shady shit going on here for sure. Uber would have definitely caught these people. I don't know. I'm just going to say that it's too long. But anyway, I mean, and then I tweeted this out actually, and when the article came out, and also I said a lot of drivers who don't even know what spoofing is get accused of spoofing with that automated cut and paste emails that Uber sends out, right? The garbage warning shots. And those people email me and say, Serge, I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm going like, I know you didn't do anything wrong. You probably don't even know what spoofing is. So, and then anyway, they got busted. Now you guys are going to have a valid question, which is the 800 cheaters, let's call them that, cheaters, who were busted as well. Not jail busted, but obviously the ring got busted. And I did ask this to Uber. I said, were those people deactivated? As they should. Okay. Again, not a straight answer, but the answer I got was that the TLC, the Taxi Limousine Commission in New York City, to drive, by the way, you have to have a TLC license separate of anything else. Supposedly the TLC is revoking all their licenses, all these 800 people's licenses. And one thing that Uber representative said that I raised question with was, you know how Uber is locking people out now, right? Because their utilization rates are collapsing. He basically blamed the lockouts to this. And I said, no, 800 drivers, there's 80,000 cap in New York City. 800 drivers are not going to cause that. But of course, Uber being Uber, they always want to find some sort of angle about why the lockouts are happening. The lockouts are happening. It's a simple reason. We talked about it. But anyway, so SCREWBER is no more. It's gone. Back to regular business.
Well, that's good. And moral of the story is, don't use spoofing software because you'll probably get deactivated when they find out.
Not probably. You will get busted. Uber is very sophisticated when it comes to that. And I'm not going to say I did it. But in my old days, I'm telling you, it was the only game in town, and it was easy
First
money.
rule of Spoof Club is we don't talk about Spoof Club, Sergio.
Well, we didn't do it until these idiots got busted. So there you go.
Just like Surge Club. We don't talk about Surge Club.
We don't do any of that. We don't. I mean, look, so it's over. If you're in one of those 800, you should be deactivated, or the TLC should take away your license. Don't cry foul that you did all this garbage. Anyway, so I'm sure there's so many things going on. I get emails about the Chinese software. I mean, I all I can do is guess. But that's another thing Uber is looking at, by the way. So if any of you are watching that, you're doing this, be careful, because you guys will get booted any day now. But look, man, it's a company that does 2.8 billion trips, Chris, every quarter. How do you catch all of this stuff? But then I think 6 years.
Algorithm is for
6 years is too long. There is something shady happening there. So.
Somebody was getting a little kickback back at the company?
I don't know. I'm not going to say any of that. All I know is 6 years for a tech company like Uber, who deactivated all my friends in the old days 7-8 years ago. How did they not know this was going on? I'm not sure. Anyway.
Yep. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about the Uber Pro debit card information. This is including, the Spark bank accounts for branch. This is going to include a few different places. So if you have received an email, which you may have, it's called Evolve Bank and Trust. You may have never heard of them, but they deal a lot of different small startups and small banks and a lot of things when it comes to the different places of gig economy. So yes, this is something that you may very well be affected. You don't know. But yeah, this is something that is huge. This is one of the biggest cybersecurity incidents that happened. And of course, we all know there's always big cybersecurity. AT&T recently had one. This, that, and the other had one. So it's just another one that you need to pay attention to. So just be careful out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I tweeted this as soon as I figured it out. I have spoken to the lawyer in Boston, actually, but they have it in 3 states. So there is on the 26th, they're going in front of the class action judge to see who should be involved in this. The reason I'm bringing it up is because once the class is settled, not settled, but once the class is, they have figured out who can be part of this class action, then I will keep you guys posted. I did a video about it, but then oddly enough, I don't have the Uber Pro Debit card through Evolve. But literally within a day of this news coming out, maybe a couple, 3 days ago, I got this notification in my app. It says, protect your account against fraud. Well, yeah. So I'm betting or guessing maybe 25% of 3-4 million drivers have the Uber Pro Debit card. That's 1 million people. So please check your account. Please make sure all the debits are yours. Please do not fall for the scams. This is the millionth time we're saying this on Show Me the Money. Do not pick up the phone. Do not give your information to anybody. Uber will never call you unless you get in a crash. They'll detect it, and then their safety team will call you. Do not pick up the phone.
Or any safety incident.
Just don't, because you're gonna get your clock cleaned. Don't. And a lot of people are emailing me saying that they're getting spam phone calls a lot more now. They're getting spam emails. If you do get a spam email with a link that may look like from your bank or American Express or whatever, do not click on that link because then they're going to just absolutely steal all your passwords. So be careful. If you have the Uber Pro Debit card through Evolve Bank, which all of them are issued through Evolve Bank, be careful. And as far as what you can get out of it, I will keep you guys posted on the 26th. Once the meeting is done, I'll put another video and let you guys know who the law firm is, so you can contact them and be part of the class. If you have any losses, even if you don't, I think you should be part of the class. And the decision, by the way, is about, as we know with the TOS, there is arbitration clauses in there. But this case is so big that I think the legal team's opinion was that this is not going to go into individual arbitration. That's why also we tell you people, when you get the TOS, you have 30 days to opt out. Please opt out so you can be part of class action lawsuits like this. So that's it. Be careful, please.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, David's got it. You can freeze your credit. So if you want to unfreeze it, then you can get loans, credit cards, all that. The other thing too is make sure you do your due diligence, checking your information online where it's been leaked, where it may be posted, and then try to make sure that those things have been, kind of handled. You can go to like Have I Been Pawned and check your information there. See if there's any passwords that have been compromised or anything that has been compromised. You can try to, change it and make sure that it's not relevant anymore. That's a good first step. There's definitely more steps to take. So yeah, that's definitely some things that you want to make sure that you're doing in order to not fall victim to some of these things. Even if you don't even know, you could be identity theft victim and not even know it. So, getting regular credit monitoring, whether it's, whatever one is out there, make sure you're doing that. They're all going to offer, I think this is offering a year or 2 years worth.
This is
of,
exactly a good thing you bring that up. Really good thing you brought that up. The lawyer, the attorney I spoke to said you should have gotten a letter from Evolve already if your information was compromised, and they should have offered you 1 year of credit protection with the 3 credit bureaus. Please do so. It's free, And I would definitely take advantage of that. Again, though, don't fall for scams. You will get calls, you will get emails.
Oh yeah, for sure. So be careful out there. Definitely when it comes to these things, don't be, um, putting in the back burner or anything like that. Let me see. I'm just looking up my email because mine was for um, the branch account through Walmart Spark. Yeah, so you can um, place a fraud alert or security freeze on your credit reports. Got to contact the 3 credit bureaus if you want to do that. There's, if you live in certain states, you can do other things as well too. That it breaks it down. But there's a lot of different things that you can do. So to activate your membership, to start monitoring your personal info, you can do that. Make sure it's done by October 31st of this year. You'll get a code. You can go to mytrueidentity.com, and this is through TransUnion. Um, and then they will give you an activation code that you will have in your email. So yeah, if you got an email, which you should have already, then that way you can help with those steps.
Yep. Okay.
All right. All right, ready to move on?
Yep.
All right. Speaking of, all right, let's move on. All right. So one of the things, I know you like this post here. The DoorDash driver in SoCal made $22.53 an hour after expenses last weekend. What do
You
you
know,
think?
I'm trying to get a hold of this guy. I keep DMing him. He's, ghosting me. He's a construction worker. The work is not there, obviously. So he's doing a lot of DoorDash. He's posting quite a bit on Twitter, right? A lot of people are giving him a hard time saying, why are you doing DoorDash? You're a construction guy, but there's no work. So the guy is at least he's doing something. And so, I'm going to keep trying to get this guy.
Mhm.
I'm persistent, so I'll get my guy. And I want to do like a behind the wheel. I want to, tell his story of why he's doing DoorDash, but construction is very slow. He's saying the bad thing is, so the other thing is, Chris, any of you are using the Solo app, please send me your screenshots because Solo sends you your leaderboard in your city, like where you rank, what
Mhm.
you're doing, how much you're earning, what's the average in your city, are you above it, are you below it? So it's like a good parameter for you to do better, right? If you're not doing your city's average, you got to up your game, and that's why Solo is good for. So besides many other things, tax, well, not exactly tax advice, but keeps track of all your expenses, keep tracks of your miles. Week by week, it'll tell you what your true deductions are. I mean, look, Solo, I like the Solo app. I like Bryce. I think his team and Solo are doing really good things. So
Yep.
if you guys do have stuff like this, please send it to me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com.
Yeah, it's nice because it's like your own little personal assistant when it comes to
Yeah.
managing your rideshare or just gig in general because it does more than just rideshare. So it's nice. And then it's real, if you're a newer driver, it's really nice because it helps you understand your market much better, quicker
Yeah.
than, like you and I who had to take some time and really look at it and figure it out.
Yeah.
You'll be able to, do the 3 Ps much better: plan, position, and patience when it comes to where you need to be, when you need to be, and those types of things. So it's definitely great for that. And then, yeah, all the tracking in that, a lot of it's automatic. A lot of it is done. Um, you just kind of adjust a couple of things here and there. And
Yep.
it's great because you can have that. But the one thing that we want to know is,
And, and the
first of all,
guarantee.
and the guarantee, yeah. That's pretty cool. I don't have that, but a lot of
I have
cities
it.
do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're in LA, so that's one thing. But
Well,
either way, one of the things that is nice though, you can say, hey, yeah, he made 22.53 an hour, but how did he compare to the other people in his market? He might be happy with that. But what if the average was $25 an hour? What if the average was only $12 an hour? I mean, there's a big difference there. So you can
yep.
actually see where you stack up compared
Yep.
to the other drivers that are in your area. So, yes, make sure you send your screenshots to Sergio where you stack in your city. We want to know. We're going to do something with that. We can't tell what yet, but send us the screenshots and we'll be able to see where you rank and yeah, all that good stuff. And if you don't have the Solo app, make sure you download it. Link is going to be in the description below. You can download that and check it out today.
Definitely.
Anything more?
Nope. Nope.
All right. So, are you ready for something fun?
Yeah.
All right. Well, how many people here have legal weed in their area? And you get a passenger that comes in and smells a little stinky, smells a little skunky, smells a little something, and you know that smell lingers, and then all of a sudden, you know, giving another ride, you're giving another ride after that maybe, and then you get a little message from Uber and Lyft saying there was a smell of weed in your car, and you are deactivated now, and you can't drive for the time being, and we have to make sure this is safety incident, checks out and all that. So yeah, it's become a real problem, especially since there is so many places that have it legalized. I think it's what, 26 states at this point now, for recreational, and even more for medical. So there's a lot of things air out. That's smart. But there's something we have and that we're giving away right now. So this
Yep.
is Nixed 420. And this is going to be something for eliminating those odors completely and permanently. I mean,
Yeah.
until the next person comes in, then you got to take another spray. But Sergio, I know you have this.
I have it.
How well
I
does it do?
tested it. I gave it to a couple of drivers already. Shout out to my brother-in-law, who's the biggest pothead on the planet. He's not gonna like that, but I tested it actually. You know, I had him like bring pot into my car, and then he sat in it like I'm giving him a trip or a ride, because we do pick up a lot of people, you know, from dispensaries and shit, right?
Oh yeah.
And then what are you doing? Like by the time you finish the trip, the car reeks. You can put the windows down, you could do all that. It's not going to work. Okay. So I was sent the product. I tested it myself. Now, let me make this clear to you guys. This spray is water-based. It's organic. It's in itself, but it eliminates organic odors. It is not just for pot. Okay. So let's say somebody stepped on shit, got in your car. Any organic odor, okay, bodily fluids, body odor, or you know, so don't just
let's not beat around
think
those
it's for pot.
let's not just beat around the bush. Those stinky ass passengers that get in your car, and
Yeah.
you have to like choke back how disgusted you feel at the moment, because you're just like, oh God, you smell like ass.
Yeah.
Like, did you take a shower in the
Well,
last year? Did you piss
yeah.
yourself? What did you do? So
Yeah, this is also not just for your car. This is also for your house. If you have, you know, cat litter or cat litter box smell or whatever, okay? What this does, it kills the odor upon contact. As far I have spoken to the CEO of the company, we wouldn't put this up. We're going to do a giveaway.
in fact, if you
And
enter hashtag SMTMC in the chat right now, 5 winners. That's what we're doing. We're gonna give 5
okay.
bottles away. So
It's going to
5
be
people.
a 4-ounce bottle, and the 4-ounce bottle, I'm told by the CEO of the company, it has enough for 800 sprays. Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Basically, all you do is, let's say you get a passenger in the bag, smell of weed, but then you accepted the next trip, you're trying to air the car out. All you do is turn around, sprit, sprit, sprit. It's leather, safe. It's safe. All it has to do is just spray 2, 3, 4 sprays on the back seat. Doesn't have to be directly into the air. It's an organic odor remover. So any odor that's organic, think about it. So weed is organic. It's plant. Shit is organic. Piss is organic. I don't know what else I say. So, or for delivery people,
organic.
for delivery people, right? I mean, you put garlic, you know, I don't know, some sort of Indian food in your car or some Chinese food, and then then you're gonna do a rideshare trip. Car reeks of garlic, spray. That's it. It kills it. I tested it. I think it works. The CEO says they have never, okay, this is never is a big word. So he said never had a complaint that it did not work. I'm going like, hey, man, this is something good. We'll give it to our people, and then we'll have them test it. So if you do win this, which I hope you do, want to use it, shoot me an email, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Let me know if it worked.
Nice.
Because
Either way,
I think this is
we're
great.
going to give away 5 bottles of this to 5 lucky winners. And we're going to do our segment. And then, of course, we always do a segment in between. So people who are watching will be able to enter hashtag SMTMC into the chat. So they will be able to be entered. And again, we're going to be doing 5. So you may be a lucky winner at this one. And with that being said, if you don't win and you want one of these bottles, you can go to the website. Link is going to be in the description below, and type in RSG25. They're going to give 25% off of your order. So that's awesome. You'll be able to get it for even cheaper.
One other thing, Chris, one last thing about this. I said, there's Ozium, there's Febreze, there's all these things. He goes, those things are all chemicals that mask actually your nostrils. This is not, by the way, this is not a deodorant. People understand this. The smell of this is just very natural. It's not like, the
difference between
air freshener. It's not an air freshener.
Yeah, the difference between a spray is it will mask it. This is an odor remover, so it'll actually remove the odors. So it's definitely different that way.
It is not. Yeah, it's not going to just mask the smell of stuff and then it comes right back. Because according to him, a lot of organic matters will be sitting on your seats when a passenger sits down. It'll flush it all out, and you keep smelling it because you sprayed either Febreze or Glade or whatever. Makes the smell
go to your
away.
local spot.
Yeah. So anyway, good luck.
But
use it, and let me know. Sergio@therideshareguy.com.
And with that being said, Ozium works well. It does, but you know what? I like the packaging on this. It's a lot more sleeker and it's a lot nicer. That's just my opinion overall. Plus, I have our black interior, so that's it just matches nicely. But yeah, I like it. It looks nice, and that can say a lot. So either way, yes, hashtag SMTMC into the chat. We're going to do our next segment, and then we will draw our 5 lucky winners. And again, if you didn't win and you do want this, link's going to be in the description below. Enter RSG25, and you're going to get 25% off. So everyone's really a winner.
I did test it on my brother-in-law, who's a very heavy pot smoker. It worked. I had him sit in my car after he smoked pot. It's also good for cigarette smoke. How somebody will puff and then get in your car is smelling cigarette. Scientifically, the company has done a lot of testing, so we're taking the company's word for it. So if you win it, use it. If you don't like it, email the company. There you go.
All right. And will it burn the eyes?
These are the types of this guy right here. He has a lot of good things to say. And then Mike, buddy, listen. I mean, you put all this shit up here. How do you think this shit is running? Okay, if there was a big check, I would know. There is no big check going anywhere. And these drivers, bro, they have this shit that they just come up with that just blows my head off. Big check. How's this shit running, Mike? How are you watching this for free, Mike? Fuck. I wish there was a big check. If there were big checks, we wouldn't be doing this. We'd be doing different things. So, I don't get it. I don't get people. Seriously, I just don't. Anyway.
I don't know, but let me ask you a question, Sergio. Do you get pissed off when you get a little email in?
This is not a sponsor. Uber? This is a giveaway. It's not a sponsor. If we was a sponsor, we would say at the start of the show. At least you should know that much.
All right. Sergio, ignore him. If he wants to troll, then let him troll. He can, be flushed down the toilet. It's fine. With that being said, do you hate when you get an email that says your passenger reported that you started the ride without them in it?
You would think so.
Well, good news. That may come to an end.
I have it. This is from my app. I have it.
I don't, and I'm pissed off. Hey, Uber, I know you're watching. Get this in all of the apps. Thank you.
Yeah, I have it. This is from my app. I like it. For this, guys, you have to go to your app settings on the bottom, And right there under night mode, it says pin verification. You click on that. It'll give you this window in the middle, the screenshot in the middle. You could have a choice of don't verify, verify next session, meaning when you turn the app on, or verify all the time. You have 3 choices, which I think are fair. And once you pick it, it'll be set, and every rider of yours will be sent a code. And when they get in the car, you can ask them the code. So I think it's awesome. I think this is great.
I've been saying this for years now, that this needs to be rolled out to everybody all of the time on both platforms, because you know who's getting in your car. I mean, you literally have a 0.01% chance of putting in the right code just by happenstance. So the reality is 99.99% of the time, that is going to be the passenger that you're taking. And the reality is it is going to be the passenger. So that's going to be doing a lot of good things. That means all of this crap where they're like, oh, they didn't take me where I was supposed to go, or this or that or the other thing. Sorry, all that shit's out the window at this point. So for me, if I had this in my app, which I don't, Uber, get it in the app. I would be putting it on verify all trips, absolutely. And then every single time.
Do you think the riders will push back though? Maybe if they see that, they cancel trips and stuff. I don't know why. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's safe. So
no, I don't think it will. I think they'll be like, oh, what is this? I never had that before. And then use the pin verification all the time, even though it's
this actually
he tweeted helps with that too.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is something that has been needed for a long time, and now that it's here, hopefully in all apps soon. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Uber. I would be putting on verify all trips, and every single time.
Well, I'm gonna test it next time I drive. It'll just also eliminate say my name. I'm like, the fuck.
Yeah, I don't give a shit what your name is. You could be besides killer.
No, you say my name. What does that mean? It's like, no, give me your code. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, give me the code, or the doors don't unlock.
You bet.
You don't have the 4-digit code. I'm sorry. Then you're at the wrong Uber.
No, I mean, this is good. This is good. See.
Yep. So I think this is a fantastic thing. If you have it in your app, again, you just go to app settings in your app, and you will see pin verification. Hopefully you have it. If you do, you will be able to either don't verify. If you don't, verify next session, or verify all trips, as Sergio said.
Just try all 3. I mean, well, don't verify, but try the other 2 and then see what you're comfortable with.
Personally, I say verify all trips, and the reason is it's just a cover your ass type of thing. It eliminates the possibility for a lot of different headaches, issues, and it's just one of those things. It's going to be a lot better. Couple that with a dash camera, and you're covered even better. So
So the question is a valid question. I'm assuming as soon as you accept the trip,
basically when they match it. Yeah, when you match with the rider and the screen changes to show that information, it will show the pin at that point. So they will have it right then and there.
Okay, I had the pin verification for the past week, and passengers have not complained. There you go. I've explained to them that it stops another passenger. There you go. I like that, actually. I think that's a good point.
Yeah, the reality is I don't think that they're actually going to have any issues.
I don't know what it looks like yet, Matt. I will actually test it and then ask a rider what they see, or if they can take a screenshot or whatever. I think it's a good thing.
Yep, absolutely. This is a smart decision for Uber to roll out, so it's not just the passengers that decide to do it and turn it on. This is putting it in the driver's hands and the ability to verify all trips, which is fantastic. So again, I want to know what you guys would do if you have this or not. What would you do though? Would you turn the pin on for all rides? Would you do it for part of the time, or would you just not verify at all? Put in the comments. I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah, most of the time it's the last 4 digits of the rider's phone number. And if they don't know what it is, I didn't get a pin, and then you just ask them what the last 4 digits of their phone number is. That is usually the pin. Okay, cool.
All right. So with that being said, let's see who is our winner. Give me 1
Winners.
second. So I
Are we
can
doing
set-
all 5?
Yep.
Okay, JJ, stop spamming the goddamn board, bro. I think you belong to the other channel. That's one of the, I think it is. Well, I don't even know. Okay, okay, one too many times, JJ. You need to go to YouTube purgatory for a minute.
Give me 1 second. Here we go.
Are we doing all 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So you got to make sure you email Sergio at therideshareguy.com if you win.
Yes.
And you need
the other thing you need to email me is, this is a physical product. You email me your full-on address so I can forward it to the company. Abraham Levy. Okay. Next one.
All right. Congratulations, Abraham. Let's do our next, and that is Carlos. Congratulations.
Carlos Crowther. Okay.
All right. Next one.
Email Sergio at therideshareguy.com your full address, please, including zip code.
Techie B. Congrats.
Okay, if you do guys get this, please test it. I mean, and let me know. I'm sure you'll get it, but we are not shipping this. We don't have the product. It's going to go to the company. The company is going to ship it directly. So have some patience.
Coffin. Congrats.
Chris, have patience. Don't email me every day saying I didn't get my shit. Okay.
All right. That was 4, right? Got one more?
One more.
One
Yeah,
more, right?
One more. Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see who's our winner.
That's a good one. That's a good one, Jack.
Mr. Gambit.
Mr. Gambit.
Congratulations.
Mr. Top LA Surge Sniper. Even if there is no Surge, he snipes Surge. So I don't know.
Congrats on that for our 5 lucky winners. And again, if you did not win, better luck next time. But you can also go to the website and type in RSG25 and you will get 25% off.
All right. That's it.
All right. You ready for the next?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're talking about Uber profits, where they go, why they keep going down this crazy wild road.
Yeah, 300 million was the settlement in with the New York AG about what, 6 months ago. 170 million was the settlement in Massachusetts. Okay, that's 500 million. This is another 325 million. As we know, European legislators are a little tougher on these actually on rideshare companies, because there's like Grab and there's other Bolt. There's other rideshare companies around the globe that are not here. Here we only have Uber and Lyft. I mean, Lyft is also guilty of this, but then they're not in Europe. So this is the European courts decided that Uber was, supposedly it's illegal for Uber Europe to send all the data that they collect from the European drivers in the European Union, and ship it back to the US for data analysis, supposedly. I didn't know that. But then the court said 324, please. So now, 324, 325, the 650, another 150 is 800. 800 million in fines. You know what I mean? That's where Uber's profits go. That's why they cut the driver pay. That's why they have to increase their take rate. It ain't an easy business. Chris, I swear to God, rideshare is the shittiest business on the planet for everyone. Shittiest business ever. And these companies can't stop themselves from breaking laws. and then they get caught, and then they drag it in courts for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and then they pay. By the time they pay, they have made the 800 million that they're going to pay out already. So to me, but then who loses, right? The drivers loses, because then the drivers' earnings get cut, rates get cut. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is, Uber, don't do this. That's a lot of money, right? I'm sure your executives would like to have 325 million in the bank than out of the bank. So in Netherlands, right, the European Union General Data Protection Regulation, the penalty is related to transfers of personal data of drivers out of the European Union to the US, where Uber's main business is located. The GDPR allows for fines up to 4% of global annual turnover to be levied for non-compliance, which they did not comply. But then, and then on the next, is there another screenshot, or that was it? This was it, right?
No, that was it.
All right, yeah, so that's it. All I know is Uber, another slap on the hand, and this is just the penalties that they're getting. I mean, I cannot imagine, Chris, Uber's legal bills. To get here, I'm sure there is some super high-paid lawyers in court every single day doing something.
Oh God,
One thing I know,
all the arbitration, all the everything.
Yeah, one thing I know, their legal bills must be through the roof, because I don't know if they have a lot of in-house legal counsel. I'm pretty sure Tony West, under him, there's a bunch of lawyers, but then I'm sure they outsource all of this stuff. And those lawyers are not cheap, bro. And that's where the profits go. They do the shady shit, they get busted, and then they tie it up in courts. I think Uber has been sued over 140 times last time I checked. You guys can all Google this, by the way. How many times has Uber been sued? Uber has never, ever gone to trial. Not once. Ever. So they tie it up, pay the lawyers, have them show up in court, all the briefs get done, and this and that, and objections and appeals and this and that, and then they pay. So that's where Uber's profits are going. There you go. Done. Tony West is not on vacation.
Well, that makes some of the sense. Then don't forget about the commercial insurance issues.
Yeah, I don't know. Why don't they go to court? I wonder. Oh, they don't want the algorithm to be opened up in a court of law. I don't know, but that's where the money goes. Yeah, exactly, Jeff. Sergio, Jeff says that's where all the external fees go.
Oh, no. You said 120. I just asked ChatGPT, and it said, I can't provide the exact number of court cases Uber has been involved in due to the complexity and global nature of the company's operation. Estimates suggest that Uber has faced over 1,000 legal challenges worldwide since its founding.
I was way under. I was way under. Way under. I lost the over-under bet on that one.
Oh, big time.
Oh my God. I was like, well, I mean, but then I mean, yeah, that, you know what? Actually, yeah, because those probably we're talking all kinds of cases, federal, state, global. I mean, Uber is a global company. So yeah, maybe you should ask ChatGPT how many US lawsuits has Uber faced. Maybe my number is close to that. I don't know. Anyway, that's where Uber's profits go. That's why they break the law and then, they pay.
Uber has faced an estimated 500 plus lawsuits in the US alone.
Okay, I was under on that one.
These cover a wide range of issues, including driver classification, passenger safety, regulatory compliance, wage disputes, and antitrust matters.
Yes, sir. There you go. I am just flabbergasted that all this happens, and somebody, I mean, a federal agency has not looked into any of this stuff. I mean, they have, obviously they have sued, state AGs have sued, but I'm talking like FTC, DOJ, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's the next one. Although Tony West is campaigning with the sister-in-law, and I think
I don't know. But did you hear that she wants to pass that PRO Act?
I don't know what they're doing, but the economic package is a goddamn disaster. Yeah, taxing my unrealized gains. What about my unrealized losses, Kamala? I have shit on unrealized losses.
They look the other way. We're gonna look the other way on that one.
I don't know. I don't know any about that. I don't know.
You know what? Lauren Bobart commented something on that, and I posted like it's absolutely insane. And dude, the people that like were the simps were so they were like, "Oh, do you make $100 million?" That's where it starts. We
Yeah,
all
I don't
know
know.
it's gonna come trickling down. I mean,
Yeah,
let's go back to the early what 19. When did the income tax start? That was for the rich, and guess what? We
yeah.
all have to pay it now.
It's bad
So
enough that I live in California.
yeah. Oh, you got to get out, bro. You got to
Bro,
get out of there.
how can I get out? Well, then she's gonna tax my unrealized gains on my house. So, but
Well, they'll be realized at the moment you sell it. So
I know. But then now actually, what I'm gonna do, Chris, you all heard. I know this is off topic, but you all
just
heard
make sure
about
you
this.
just make sure you put your value of your house $150,000 over what they say, and you'll be
Okay,
good.
okay. But then you said 150,000. Come to think of it, right? Our legislators just passed the law. It's law. They passed it with overwhelming majority in California that the state taxpayers will fund. This is no joke, people. This is happening. Will fund $150,000 down payments for illegals. Illegals, you guys heard it right? For illegals to use that 150,000 towards as a down payment on the purchase of a house.
Well,
WTF?
I want to know, when are Americans going to start crossing the border?
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna relinquish my citizenship, become illegal, go across the border, hire a coyote, come back as an illegal, pay
I'm
the
seeking
coyote
asylum.
like 5-10 grand, right? And then I get the 150K. Like, I thought about it, like 12 to 15 to 1 ROI on that one. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. All I
Seriously,
know is there a way where we can just
what the
like
heck?
split Death Valley apart and then just watch the rest of the state just fall into the Pacific? Would you
I
mind
mean,
if we did that? I mean, you can
what?
swim, right? You could get a
Huh?
boat. I said you
Yeah,
could swim. You could get a boat, right?
I don't know. I'm looking ways to become illegal because you get the
I
healthcare.
mean, honestly, you could probably just cross the border and then just come back and say, "Hey, I am
Yeah, but
seeking asylum."
I'm legal. I don't know. All I know is this is outrageous. It's out of control. Why should the California taxpayers fund purchases of homes of illegals? I mean,
Shouldn't.
I'm not against immigration,
No, me
but
neither.
yeah,
Legally, legally.
$150,000 we're gonna hand people to use as a down payment to a house. And by the way, in California, you could that
DeVoe said,
$150,000 down payment will buy you a house for sure.
"Yeah." DeVoe
Yeah,
says, "Look, if you become illegal, I can get you a driver account with Uber."
I know how to do all those things already. Don't worry a second. But I'm not sure if
Bro, guys,
California is a place for me
you
to
don't even
stay.
need coyotes right now. Seriously, you just literally cross the border. You
I'm
go into
thinking,
Mexico, come back, and
yeah,
say, I'm seeking asylum."
there you go. Well, I'm thinking, my
I mean,
business mind,
I'm
I'm thinking
assuming.
ROI. 5,000 to the coyote, 150,000 from the state. That's like, oh shit, that's 25 to 1. I mean, 24, 25. Yeah, 25 to 1. No, 30 to 1. Hey, pretty good return, bro. I'm like, hey, buy me another house that way.
Yeah, right. I don't know, but
Anyway,
that's absolutely insane.
no, we
So,
passed good laws. Now the guy who was sexting is passing laws that
Anthony Weiner.
every car, yeah, Weiner, Mr. Weiner, every car that's going to be sold in California by 2030 will start snitching on all other cars which are going. He wants them to have the OEM, whatever the frick they're going to put in these cars, to snitch on other cars who are going 10 miles above the speed limit. That's going to be law. I'm going like, what? what is going on? Seriously, I mean, California was beautiful, man. It's like a shithole. I go like, I mean, the weather, everybody says, why are you staying in California? I'm like, well, I got a daughter in college and a son in high school. Okay. What am I supposed to do? Just pack up and shit? No. But two,
Yeah,
it was
pack up.
beautiful, man. People go
Pack
like,
up
oh,
and
it's the
move.
weather. It's the weather. I'm like, weather don't pay the bills and all the shit that they're doing. Look, I'm not against anybody coming to this country, but I don't want you to spend my tax dollars on their healthcare, and I don't want you to spend I can hardly get healthcare, and I don't want you to spend my tax dollars on them getting down payments on homes. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
See, here's the thing that I don't understand. They can do that for
Fuck.
the illegals, but what about the 1 million plus people who are homeless running the streets of LA, San Francisco, throughout the state, and they're in tent cities and Skid Row and all these places, and they need billions of dollars and they haven't done jack shit. And I'm sorry, the homeless, fuck them.
Yeah,
What?
and
That
take
doesn't make
those
any sense.
billions.
They
I mean,
got their heads so
seriously,
far up their asses. If they stick their tongue out, they're gonna fucking lick their Adam's apple.
look, man, take those billions. First of all, fix these people's mental and drug problems before you do anything else.
I know.
Because they all do it. They all have that problem. They're unemployable. I mean, I feel bad for the Americans who are homeless while you have Venezuelans and taking over Colorado. And, and I honestly, you know who I texted with the other day, Chris? Luis Berti, Delivery TV, right?
Yep.
He was on our show. Okay. He mentioned a Venezuelan gang. It's something the Aragua. And he says they're all coming over, taking over Walmart Spark accounts and, all these fake shit that they're doing and whatever. Guess what? That's the gang supposedly taking over apartments now in Colorado.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did you hear about Chicago?
Yeah, exactly. That started there too now.
See,
Here's
the thing.
I'm not against any of this, but look, I don't think you
can
just come in and just open your mouth and just put the shit in. Like New York, $6,000 a month. You stay at a 4-star hotel. I'm like, what the hell's going on, man?
Look,
Feed
it doesn't take a genius to
first.
figure out what's going to happen. If you have all these people coming in, let's just call it the visiting team, and you have the home team, and you're giving everything to the visiting team, but nothing to the home team is going to start getting pissed off, and there's going to be a lot of unrest that's coming. I mean, you've seen pictures of Hell's Angels and all the biker gangs in Aurora.
I mean, I don't know if they're real or not.
But yeah. now you're seeing gangs in Chicago starting. You know the saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's going to become a real problem soon if these people don't step up and figure things out.
There was a video on Twitter I watched. It was a minute video. 2 cops in a hallway. This guy was a Venezuelan illegal. He was trying to break into somebody's apartment. They called the cops. This is no joke, people. You guys can go. Twitter is cool for these things. Just watch the video. My mouth was on the floor, Chris. These 2 cops show up. The guy goes, I want to press charges. He was trying to break into my apartment. And then the cops goes, we can't touch him. The guy goes, what do you mean? I'm filing a complaint. He goes, we can't touch him. Denver is a sanctuary city. Literally, that's what the cop is saying.
Wow.
The cop said to the guy, he goes, sir, this is nothing. We arrested a double homicide, murder criminal. We had to let him go because we're a sanctuary city. Guess where else is a sanctuary city, Chris? San Francisco is a sanctuary city.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going like, this some shit's going wrong here. This is bad. This is just bad. So anyway, I mean, we don't want to do the political shit, but I thought I would mention that 150,000. So if you all want to buy houses,
the problem is it's
cross the border, come back, we'll give you a house.
To bleed into your backyard. If it's starting to bleed in your backyard, it's becoming part of life. That's the problem.
Well, I got my guns oiled. Fuck that shit. I'm serious.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anything I may or may not have had, it fell off a boat in a boating accident years ago.
No, I got a couple of them, and they will fucking hurt you. So I mean, no, I all seriousness aside, California is what it used to be. It was beautiful. Fucking now it's like,
now it's a real problem. But let's get back to the topics at hand. A lot of people, I mean, we could do this a whole different show on a different
We should.
channel or something.
We should do a political show. Should we do a political show? We should do a political
I don't
show.
know if people want to see a political show
Go
between
watch that,
everybody.
Lilius. Go watch that on Twitter. Go watch it on Twitter.
If you
I'll
want
send you the link.
to see that, then let us know in the chat. Say yes or no, and maybe we'll think about doing a political show
We'll
on
do
a
like an
different channel
extra
or something
political
like
show.
that. So let us know if we get enough. Then sure. But yeah, let's move on between and let's talk. Speaking of unsafe and issues and things like that.
Right there.
Divided federal court says Uber owed murdered Washington driver duty of care. Yes.
Would you guys vote for me if I ran for like city council? Whoever is in LA watching this, would you guys vote for me? Because I honestly am thinking of getting into politics. Yeah. Okay. So this is a big court case up in Seattle, Washington. Another big, wonderful Seattle, Washington freaking lawmakers. This guy was butchered, stabbed to death by two probably crackheads who were on a rideshare trip. And the courts, I think this is a pretty big decision, and I think this should be law in every state, that the P3, period 3 protection should continue. And somewhere they passed that. I think it was Seattle, period. But then this was the companies appealed because the driver's family sued. I think it was Uber. Let me see. Yeah, Uber. So Uber appealed, and then the appellate court came down and said, no, Uber has responsibility after the trip is over. Okay. So it was a 2-1 decision. It reversed the ruling by senior U.S. District Judge Barbara Rothstein, who in 2022 granted summary judgment in favor of Uber, leading the family to appeal. So this has been going on since 2021. This guy was murdered, butchered, okay, literally butchered by a couple, I don't know, boyfriend, girlfriend, crackheads. The Ninth Circuit majority opinion written by senior U.S. Circuit Judge Richard Paez and Circuit Judge Jacqueline Nguyen also chastised Rothstein for abusing her discretion as a judge in sealing numerous files without proper findings. So this, I think, is completely necessary. This type of law, that the P3 protection should be extended, because most of the stuff happens when bad shit like this happens. The drivers' families should have some recourse, obviously, and so according to the lawsuit, Uber failed to employ basic identify verification technology to screen out potentially dangerous riders, despite having developed commercialized some of the most sophisticated data collection and analysis in the world. And I guess this is way before the Uber verification and Lyft verification, and that's why Lyft rushed and brought this up. So the Nevada couple, Devin Wade and Olivia Bebick, both 21, were charged with murder and pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and was sentenced to 18 years in prison, right? So it alleges the couple murdered Casey, opened the Uber account using a fake name and unverified form of payment just minutes before calling the ride. Now, I'm hoping that the new verification thing is working better than this. Will it stop all these nonsense, all these murders and all these, criminal activity? And will the drivers be safer? I am not sure, but I think it definitely is a good step. And this would not have happened if the verification was in the process. Okay. And Casey relied entirely on Uber to match him with riders, and he was not given any meaningful information about the rider other than their location. Paez and Nguyen wrote in the majority opinion, Uber did not disclose to Casey not to give him any opportunity to discover which riders had suspicious profiles and were using anonymous forms of payment. There you go. Washington, kudos, my hat's off to you. Just like you have done many things correct in Washington state, this is another one. And I hope this becomes law in every state, that protections drivers have after P3 continue. Because shit happens right at the end of a trip most of the time. So there you go.
Yep. I mean, it should also include the P2 time where you're waiting for the rider to come, because there could be something that goes on during that time, whether it's the rider setting you up or you just go into an area and wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, man, crime is crime. We know what's happening in the country. We don't need to get into that. We talked about it 10 minutes. Crime is crime. Crime can happen anywhere, anytime. Obviously, you need to, okay, what can you do? Right? Have your guard laid up. Don't let anybody in your car until you verify. Put your window halfway down. Keep your doors locked. Have a dash cam, please. You know, Chris, this week I must have gotten maybe 20 deactivation emails. Sergio, help me. I'm like, I can't do anything. And first question I asked, do you have dash cam footage? How many of those 20 you think that have dash cam footage?
I'm going to say
none.
Not even?
None.
Guys,
none.
get a dash camera.
None. And I'm going like, you must have a dash cam today. So
yeah,
that's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, get a dash camera. We got a few links in the description below for the ones that we like. You know, Van True's got some great cameras. Display Ride has the cloud-based one, and you do RSG, code RSG gets you for $10 a month. So there's a lot of different ones out there, but the ones that we recommend, you can look in the description, check them out, and definitely get them for sure.
Now you're taking the water off the wall. We're not saying that. I know, I hope you're being facetious, but you're a smart guy. I know you personally. Nobody's saying that, but I think you would agree with me that a stricter onboarding process is necessary above and beyond this third-party verification that they're doing. All I'm saying is the next step of this, I like it as a first step. The next step has to be riders have to upload a verifiable ID, a government ID, whatever ID it is. I think that would solve a lot of these problems. But the companies won't do it because they're afraid that the riders will go away. Well, it will eliminate another layer of bad apples, bad actors. So, you know, look, none of these things were there. You know, we started Show Me the Money. We started talking about it all this time. Companies are coming around. Now, the next layer has to come in at some point, the next step.
Yep. All right. With that being said, let's move on to our next topic. And it's, again, if you can't beat them, join them. So Alto, I mean, what's, have you ever seen Hotel Transylvania?
What?
The movie Hotel Transylvania?
No.
Oh, it's a great movie. If you got kids, I mean, yours are a little bit older, but even for me, I love the movies. There's 4 of them out. But they're basically monsters. So it's Dracula, Dracula's daughter, you know, Frankenstein's monster, a couple of other ones. But there's this green blob monster, and this is what it reminds me of whenever I hear these types of things when it comes from Uber sucking up another company. So it's just this big glob monster that's just sucking up everything. And the next one is now Alto. I mean, we've had Will on talking about Alto, and you know, they ran into some problems, and now it looks like they're in a strategic partnership with Uber.
I call this, if you can't beat him, join him, right? I mean, we had Will on the show. We interviewed Will Coleman, the CEO of Alto. He has a vertically integrated business model. They own the cars. All drivers are employees. You work by the hour with benefits and things. And it is definitely not an easy business to be in. And obviously, you know, Mr. Kool-Aid at Uber, Andrew McDonald, Mac, you're not coming here, so I don't care. And, you know, they had tweeted this out. They made it sound like, well, it was fantastic. I'm like, you know, look, man, you know, Alto is down to Houston and Dallas. They're shutting down pretty much every operation. They used to be in 7 or 8 cities. It is difficult to compete with Uber and Lyft. I am really finding that out pretty already with Why Ride, Chris. But it's okay. We'll figure it out. But the point I'm trying to make is that Alto was also going to go full electrification, like Uber was. They let go of that. Again, this is a survival kind of a move as far as I'm concerned. Obviously we'll raise the utilization of the Alto drivers, but then, yeah, you see, you're correct. Everybody is on the Uber platform, from cabs to autonomous vehicles, now Alto,
Revel.
they have, look, man, they have the platform, and they have built this marketplace, and it's undeniable. And it's amazing what they have done. And, they're reaping the benefits of it. And so according to Will, he says it's transformational. It's going to be great for Alto. I hope so.
We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell exactly what happens. So I don't know. I'm starting to sense antitrust lawsuits coming soon.
No, I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of, it's tough. It's tough to play this game. It really is tough. You have to have a lot of deep pockets, and nobody has the deep pockets Uber had. They put
No, not at this point.
They put 35 billion on fire before they created the marketplace. Mike says, yeah, they were all W-2 employees. They never moved away, and they also own their cars. So anyway, it's a tough business.
All right. Let's
Uber
move on.
Can hardly make money. Look, Uber can hardly make money without owning the cars.
Yeah. Speaking of owning cars and Waymo,
I saw you go head to head with Harry on that one, on the one on the left.
Yeah, with parent. So basically, what's going on there on the first one is parents are sending kids to school using Waymo, which is against their TOS as well too. But they don't seem to care because they're getting the money for it, and then their kids are getting the ride to school. I say use service. Here's the big thing when it comes to Waymos. They still aren't fully functional. We've seen so many times where they have issues and problems. I wouldn't want my kid alone in one of them, being, she's 6, 7 years old, going to school in one of those. I wouldn't want that. There's the safety issue, car seats. Something happens, the kid is alone. They don't have anybody around. So what if there's an emergency? What if there's something that happens? And Harry was like, oh, well, the chance of an emergency. Look, it doesn't matter. There's a chance. If there's an issue or a chance or a problem and it happens, guess what? Who's the asshole at this point? So you don't want to.
I mean, okay. So let's take a quick poll. Okay, would you put your teenager or child to go in a Waymo to take to school? Chris, I know he said no.
Nope.
Harry said he would never put his teenager in a car with a driver, with an Uber driver, but he would do it with a Waymo. I say,
but you know what? You know what he totally sidestepped was? I said, put your kids in Hop, Skip, Drive or into Kid Kaboo, which are designed for that. They're with trained drivers who are vetted much more than the average Uber driver. Notice how he didn't say anything beyond that when it came to it. Yeah. What happened there? I mean, I think I would be much more happier with putting my kid in with somebody who's actually been vetted and, has a lot more when it comes to the background checks that they have to deal with, when it comes to that type of entirety that they have to go through. I feel much more comfortable putting my child in with somebody that's there, because again, if there's an emergency, if something happens, they're all alone. If they're 6, 7, 8 years old, they don't know what the hell's going on. They don't know how to handle situations. You have to teach them. And if they're alone and something happens, what happens if your child has, if they're on the spectrum? What happens if and have a problem? What happens if they have seizures and they have you don't know? Or what happens if they have an allergic reaction because they got a bug bite? You don't know. I mean, there's all these things that you don't know. You should not have your child unattended at all.
Yeah. I mean, just because you can doesn't mean you should, but I would not do
can't. Legally, you
I mean,
can't.
I would put my 15-year-old son in there probably, I would put, look,
but here's the thing. You can't legally put your child or leave your child home alone when they're children. You cannot do it. You will be brought up on charges for negligence. And it could be even worse. So why would you do that in a car?
It's against the law, by the way, and Harry admitted that too. It's against the CPUC guidelines, but Uber is doing it with Uber Teen, and Waymo is doing it because of a singular world, which is called primarily. Uber has Uber Teen because Uber's business primarily is adults, not teenagers or children. So is Waymo's. And CPUC put that in there. That's California Public Utilities Commission, saying that if your business is primarily adults, you don't have to go through, or your drivers don't have to go through the fingerprint check, drug test, FBI background check, right? Unlike the other companies whose business is primarily transporting children. That's why their drivers, Kid Kabu and Kid Hop, Skip, and Drive, they have to be vetted properly because their business is primarily children and teenagers. So that's how they're getting away with it.
Yeah, but do you see the problem? Like, if you're transporting child from pickup to drop off, it doesn't matter. I don't care if your business is primarily.
That's the law.
You're dealing with children at that point.
No, I know. I would not put anybody under the age, maybe 15. I would put my 15-year-old son in a Waymo probably. But other than that, yeah.
Nope.
I don't know.
I would again, if either one of those companies were there, or if there was a company that was primarily focused on driving children, and they have those safeguards in place. But the reality is, I'm not going to let them go in any of the cars, really. I'm the one who's going to be driving them, or my wife is. That's the simple reality, because those are my children, and I'm going to take them where they need to go. I'm not going to put them into another car, whether it's an Uber, whether it's a Waymo. I am going to take care of them. And if I can't, then I will make sure I can.
I hear that, Lelius, but aren't cab drivers vetted a little differently than Uber drivers? Think about that. The background checks on cab drivers are a lot different than an average Uber driver. But so the next one is also about Waymo. So our politicians, we're on a roll this month because we're coming to the end of the session, legislative session. We just passed this shit. Why, if a Waymo breaks the traffic law, why shouldn't they get a ticket again? And that's what they did. Slid it right under. And I'm going like, I break a law, I get a ticket. I get a point on my insurance. It goes through the roof. I have to go to traffic school, all that shit. But, our legislators said, in California, it's cool. You can break some laws. You can go against traffic. We see all these Waymos doing all the goofy shit. And they go like, no, it's okay. No moving violations for Waymos. I'm going like, man, why can't I catch a break? So earlier plan to give
what I'm going to start
tickets. Huh?
You know how they put bricks on the roads or on the sides of roads, and then all of a sudden there's a riot that's going on. A peaceful protest. What I think I'm going to start doing is I think I'm going to start shipping cones into San Francisco and to LA.
Sure
so, and they're just going to sit there. They're just going to be there. Do what you want with it. But if they make it onto the top of a Waymo and it becomes a stranded unicorn, hey, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. I think the cones are very rudimentary and necessary. This is a police officer, by the way, trying to because Waymo was breaking the law.
I don't know about you, but yeah, Jeff, right? Same exact thing. My car doesn't identify as my car identifies as a self-driving car.
No. Okay. Well,
so you can't ticket me.
Okay. But so yeah, they the requirement of autonomous vehicles getting tickets. They had an amendment last Friday, August 23. The amended bill requires only that such violations result in a notice of autonomous vehicle non-compliance being sent to the Department of Motor Vehicles. With the deadline for the legislative session, yeah, sure enough, to advance bills coming on Saturday, August 31st, they amended it. And then The Teamsters vice president said, I bet everyday Californians, he speaks for me on this one, wish that when they made a mistake driving, they got a courtesy note instead of an expensive ticket. I freaking agree. I 100% agree. I mean,
well, it's just
equal opportunity. I break the law, you send me a ticket. They break the law, they get a courtesy notice.
Yeah, and then you got the surcharges, and you got fees, and then it continues to go up and up and up. I mean, it's like the driver that I made the short on the other day, $23,000 in fines from tickets, and I bet that driver barely knows that he has them. And then all of a sudden, they're gonna suspend his license, and then he won't be able to drive, and he'll be like, "What the hell's going on? How the hell am I gonna pay all that?"
There was a good question, and I retweeted your tweet, and there was a good question from another driver. How does that guy go through a background check again?
Oh, look, those are all cameras. So how do you know that they even got the ticket?
It's on your record. I mean,
it's on your record, but how do you know you got the ticket? Especially if they're not, who knows if they send the ticket or not?
Well, there is a rule
you know
of that. You know, when you do get one of those
we're talking about DC,
tickets,
another swamp full of shit.
Yeah, I know.
Literally, it is a shithole. I mean, you are literally in a swamp. They had to drain it just so you could have viability there. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. So come on,
DC?
let's be real.
Yeah, DC.
Do you really? I mean, how many times have you gotten something from the government that says, "Hey, we're letting you know, don't forget about this," like as a courtesy reminder, versus, "Hey, you are 180 days late on this, and we've just accrued 180 days worth of penalties and fees that now doubled what you owed us before. So instead of 300, it's now 600." How many times has that happened? Why would they fucking tell you when they don't have to? And then, hey, you just keep getting it. And before you know it, you got $23,000 worth of fines. And the average American is going to be like up shit's creek without a paddle, because they're not going to be able to pay for that in any way, shape, or form, because they're not going to have the ancillary income for that. They're not going to have the disposable income for that.
That is part of the risk.
This is a fucking money grab.
I know, but there is also part of the risk of being an Uber driver, right? I mean, a lot of people just count, gas and insurance and depreciation.
Oh, I get that. I understand that. But these cameras, the way that they're designed, if you don't know you're getting a ticket, you don't know.
So
they don't necessarily tell you. I mean, how many times I could tell you New York State, they do not tell you certain information. And then all of a sudden they're just going to send you a letter and say, "Hey, by the way, you owe this. And if you don't, we're going to take it from you anyway."
Well, the other thing is he may be on the ignore list because I've had a couple of these camera tickets. And what you do is you absolutely ignore it. You don't go to the website. You don't go to DMV. You just don't even touch it. Although they will send you an email. They will send it to you in the mail. Don't open it. Don't do anything about it. Completely ignore it. You will. That's my experience. I'm not telling you to guys do it, but I've gotten away with a couple of those, especially the ones in Culver City. And Lelius is probably correct when it comes to that. So maybe that guy in DC was just completely ignoring it. Because look, when you get a camera ticket, you're not signing, right? You're not signing to appear in court. There is nothing signed. Although they do take your picture, obviously, with your face and with your license plate and all that stuff. You just say, "I never got it." There you go. But yeah. Anyway, so that's it. That's our show.
Well, either way, I think this is absolutely ridiculous, and I think we're living in the upside down. Again, if you want us to start a channel where we talk like political and common sense and shit like this, let us know. Maybe we will, and have a little bit of fun doing it.
We're gonna do it on my channel. We should do it on my channel. Let's do it on my channel. We'll just talk politics a little bit. It's that time of the year. We only have until November, and we have like 65 days left. After that,
oh God, it's crazy. Did you hear? Actually, no. We could talk about this after. We don't need to subject everybody to it. But when it comes to some of the campaigns and what they're doing, some nasty stuff.
I know.
Getting sued for defamation.
Oh, really? in order of Lyft's verification, I did not put any fakes today, Chris.
Nice. Okay.
In just 1 week respite to Uber and Lyft, that we don't put fakes. I mean, they're there, but let's give Lyft the credit that they're starting to verify. Let's give them, a day in the sun, and then we'll get right back to it next week. See that. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Right there, people. Right there. Common goddamn sense. That left the building, I don't know, 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. Common sense has left the building a long time ago. If we all had common sense, so name for the channel, the Trolls Share Guys. Sergio Vidian, go to my other channel. Well, I should do like a political live stream once a month. Anyway, so anything else, buddy?
Nope, that's it.
That's it. All right, so email me all your addresses, all the winners: Abraham, Carlos, Techie, Chris, and Mr. Gambit. Otherwise, you won't get the sniff. And be safe. Please get a dash cam, preferably a display ride. Ooh.
Yep, get a dash camera. Get your Show Me the Money Club merch too.
Yeah, get not this one. Get like Know Your Worth t-shirt. I like that one.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. Be healthy. Please be safe. Please put thumbs up. What else? That's about it. Enjoy your day.
All right. With that being said, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Go out there, make that money. Be safe, especially.
Definitely.
We'll see you guys next week.